Hi, my name is Mike Capuccio. I'm here today to do a quick maintenance on an April Air 6000 humidifier. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what an actual humidifier is and what it does and what we would do to keep it clean on a yearly basis when we do a furnace maintenance. So, a little bit of knowledge, just a little bit about what a humidifier is there's a couple of pieces to it. There's a humidistat, there's an actual water solenoid valve, and then there's the water pad that runs with the humidifier inside of here. So it's really a pretty simple item. The way that it works is there's an actual humidistat up here where you set the amount of humidity that you would want in your house. Sometimes these can be set from a thermostat up inside the home. This can sometimes be in the home, but this particular one we have in the ductwork right here. So the way you set your relative humidity is based on the outdoor air temperature. So when the temperature is minus 20 to plus 20, there's different relative humidity sensors. So with a 20-degree outside temperature, we would roughly want around 35% relative humidity in the house. So you can see this little dial here that we can dial in the 30. We set the dial to 35%. If it gets a little warmer out, we can set it a little bit higher to 45%. But as you can hear, watch when I turn this on. I'm going to watch to see what happens. So it does a little click. And you can hear that the water's running now because I've basically energized the solenoid saying, hey, I need water, I need humidity in the house. So that's what the humidistat is doing. So we have pretty good humidity in the house right now. So we're going to just do a test right here on it now. So I'm going to show you what's actually happening here now. Okay, so I'm going to remove the front cover from the humidifier. Okay, and we're going to see what's actually inside of here. So we can see inside of here, we've got a few things. We've got a water line that comes in, and there's water now. This water is actually on, and it's feeding down, and it's actually running down through this metal, almost like a pad that's in here right now, and the water is filling up inside here, and you can actually see water coming down the drain tube. So again, water goes into the drain, and it goes over and goes into the condensate pump. But what happens is when the fan is on the actual heating unit, it's going to take that air and move it through here. And you can see there's a summer and winter switch here. So it's actually a damper that opens and closes. So in the summertime, when I don't need humidity in my house, I don't want my humidifier running then. We have plenty of humidity outside. So I leave this closed because this is in the return air pushing humidity over to the supply air. So in the wintertime, I want to open that so I can have the humidity the water can actually go over and go into the house through the fan. So we've got water running now. Water is running down this pad. I can see it kind of dribbling down through here, and it comes in very slow through this solenoid valve. Just lets in a little bit of water at a time. And you can either have cold water or warm water can come into this. It depends on how you want to run your humidifier, but this one right now has cold water coming into it. So you can see there is like just getting wet, and it is dripping down here. So when I put this cover back on, it's going to create a positive pressure, which is then going to pull it in because the return air is pulling the dry air out, running it over this, and putting it into the supply air and letting the damp air go into the home to humidify the home. So now I'm going to shut the water off. I'm going to turn that off. You can hear that now did stop. I turned that to the off position. And I'm going to take the humidifier pad out and show you what you would clean or what you would replace at this point in time inside this humidifier. So I'm going to come over here. You can see there's a water line that actually is hooked up to this, so this kind of pops out. And as that popped out, you can see this pad kind of fell out at that point. So it does fall out in the front. You disconnect the water line. And it is kind of heavy now because it's got a lot of water in it. You can see there's some water dripping out of it right now. But this is where the actual water runs down inside of this pad. So you can see there's two clips at the top of this. These two clips unclip. And then this is what's replaceable. This actual water pad. This one does not look all that bad. It does need to be replaced. So we're going to get a replacement and put that in there. So when you get the replacement unit, you just slide it inside of here. You can see down inside of here too, there is a little drain. So I'm going to take this out right here. You can see this is all dirty inside here. So I'm going to wash this out. I'm going to clean all this out. Then I'm going to put the new pad in and we'll put it back in place at that time. So I want to show you something now, how when the water comes into this, what actually happens, because this is the top part of the actual humidifier, and this is the actual water line right here. So when this water line is inside of here, I'm going to shoot over here, I'm going to turn on the water, and I'm going to show you what actually happens in the top of that when that comes on. You can see the water is now flowing out, and you can see the water flowing into each one of these tubes evenly. It just distributes and goes down the pad, and it comes out the bottom. So that's all that's really happening in a humidifier. You can see the water coming in. It's a very, very low flow of water. I mean, if I took it out, you can kind of see it just dribbles in a little bit at a time. And it's just producing moisture into the air in the home. I'm going to turn that off now before we make a mess here. And I'm going to put that back together. Open that up for the winter time and put the cover back on. I hope this quick short video helps you to understand now why you would want to do maintenance on your actual humidifier in your home, because you do see that there is water running down all over the scaling pad all day long, all night long, that will build up scale. There is algae and stuff in there that needs to be cleaned out on a regular basis. So, again, how often do I want to service my humidifier? This is definitely something, if you have one of these in your home, that you want to do once a year. Can be done. You could do this yourself, or you could have us do it, either or. But if we're going to be out servicing the furnace at that time, I would highly recommend letting us know you have a humidifier, and we would service the humidifier as well.